Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Shaq. Just wanted to give you an update. What's probably going to be the final update, I guess, for the Endless Delve League. So, just wanted to kind of share where we got to, a couple of thoughts on it. Unfortunately, because I've had kind of a very intense work schedule, I've really not been able to get as far as I was really hoping, like at all. My playtime has been basically non-existent over the last couple of days, which is unfortunate but can't really be helped. I am kind of happy that I was able to get to where I did without any issues. So just wanted to show the character and a few thoughts. I learned something really exciting, or at least I found a new skill that I think should probably be a part of the Vortex Delve specific rotation moving forward. And I'll probably update the Vortex for Everyone guide to reflect that. So let's check it out. First thing I want to say is we made it to 245. It's not great, but like I said, it's more a function of time. Could have pushed a lot deeper. I think there's a couple of gear pieces that I was in the middle of crafting that if we were successful, would have easily been able to push somewhere close to 400, like without even any issues before we start getting into more strict gear requirements. But 245, I'll show a couple of these actually. I think it'd probably be a good idea to show a couple of these because I don't think I've shown any clips of the delve process. So let's check this out. We'll try to go down to 246 real quick. So let me go swap to the actual game camera here. I'll move this over a bit, and then we can go from there. Let's do that. That looks pretty good, right? There. So basically, I'm at the point where I had a couple of gear issues, and I'm probably completing about 70% of them. That's kind of what like pushing SSF delve ends up being a lot of times. Is I'm ahead of where I probably should be gear wise. So it's still working really well. You can see kind of not a lot of issues. The damage is really the biggest problem. I just hit 20 with my hypothermias and started leveling them up with 20% quality. This is actually one of the tougher nodes for me. These things that spit out the arrows do huge chunks of damage, so I try to keep moving like you should as much as possible. Basically, serpentine. You just kind of don't want to be in a straight line, like ever. And there you go. I think my game sounds might actually be up a tad bit loud, so hopefully you could hear through that. But essentially, it works just fine. Movement is the biggest thing. Hopefully that showed a little bit. You want to kind of serpentine as you dodge. You don't really want to be running in a straight line any more than like as you come around like the figure eight. Dodging in a serpentine motion is preferable. I'm only showing scrolls because I had my loot filter off. Whatever, doesn't matter. So yeah, I mean you can clearly see there it handles it really well. There's a mix of defenses right now, so obviously I'm resist capped. But beyond that, we've got 38 block attack block, 38 or 46 projectile block, 26 spell block. We've got obviously the freeze and chill avoidance, but this was kind of next. We've got elusive and moving down. This is an option for when you get into the deeper delves where your level of energy shield doesn't really matter. Where like one hit will pretty much kill you anyway. You can drop a little bit of your other defenses and go with add in like another layer, which would be the dodge chance. So that is an option, and might have been where we ended up once we got past like 300-400, but unfortunately didn't get quite that deep on time. So as far as gear goes, had a pretty basic flask setup. Went with evasion over the granite and basalt, but I ended up using basalt anyway just because the fizz damage reduction is really good. The gear was nothing special, but I will show you. So these tabs are full. This is how easy it is in Endless Delve to get insane item level gear. All of these are between 84 and I think I have a couple 88s, but a lot of these are 86s and 87s. So this is what I was working on. I've poured 200 plus fusings into this at 30% quality without seeing a 5-link. So unfortunately we're on a pretty bad 5-link, but that was something I was working on. And a lot of other stuff like hubris circlets, which I got a decent one, but nothing great. And then this is the I believe the crystal belt and the shield were the only ones I didn't end up getting in an eye level 84 one on. So had tons of rings, tons of gear, and even with the restrictions that come along with not having access to the crafting bench, resist capped, we were doing fine. So in terms of what I ended up running was Malevolence, Discipline. I put Orb of Storms with a Hex Touch Frostbite there, mostly just because you don't really have the same thing with Vortex in regular gameplay. You don't really have an issue taking care of like the quote-unquote trash mobs. All I really needed to do was plop down an Orb of Storms when I was near a boss and give or anything really high health and give them the minus cold res. And then I also put Culling Strike on it just because I had the links, and Culling Strike ended up actually being pretty decent. I mean, it's essentially just like free 10%, whatever you want to call it, 10% damage, 10%. It's the Culling Strike. So it was pretty good. Cold Snap, basic links. Vortex, basic links. Flame Dash, basic links. But this is the text. So this is what I've been working on, and I think ended up working insanely well in Delve that I was super happy with. Was basically crowd control and corpse removal through mainly Void Sphere. Void Sphere is stupid good. I've been testing it out with a cast when damage taken setup, so I could run both of these like in tandem. I think I actually prefer it self-cast. It's another button to press, but Void Sphere lets you do a couple of really cool things. And actually, I think what I'll do is I want to kind of show it off. I'm going to pick something really low level just so that I won't get, if I take the time to explain it, I won't get like crushed into oblivion here. So let's go all the way down to like super low mob level. No, like super low mob level, like in the 40s. Okay, so let's get a little nice long passageway here. Let's do that. Because it has a couple of really cool functions. So obviously there's the corpse removal part. When you're in the final node section where you have your little fight at the end, you just pop it down in the middle and it helps remove corpses. It helps keep you from getting exploded, basically. But on the delve paths, it is insane. There's just these spots on the delve paths where this is a good example of like when you're at this appropriate level, that's a really hard wall to get through. Those are the bats that do like the little sonic, whatever you want to call it, the little attack that makes like a little AoE cone in front of you, and you can get stuck just like I just did. You can get stuck really easily in these spots, which is basically just a wall of death for you. And Void Spear lets you get around that completely, and it's nuts. It basically pulls the mobs. You can use it on a wall. I want to find another set of mobs here. So if I get stuck a little bit, I can go over here, and it starts pulling them all that way. So you can clear space for yourself to get through. You can bunch up the mobs so that you can basically do one of these things. Here, I'll show one of these. You pull them over here, you set up your Vortex, set up your Cold Snap, and then you just kind of pull mobs into the damage. Or you can do it in reverse. If you think you'll survive dashing in really quick, you can Void Sphere, and then Void Sphere, you dash in, pop your Vortex, Cold Snap, and walk away. It's just, I'm not even going to finish the note, I just wanted to kind of show that, but it is nuts. It's so good. It's so helpful. It's so useful. Because its specific help is at the end of the delve nodes and in the very narrow delve chambers, I would say it's pretty delve specific where I'd want that. I don't think that I would normally want that out mapping. You just end up going too fast for that, and with access to the crafting bench and more damage and more stuff, especially in a trade league, you're just going to be doing enough damage that your damage kind of takes care of those issues, as well as your tankiness, gaining life on block, all that type of stuff. Mitigates a lot of the need for that, but it was really, really nice to have, and I highly recommend it moving forward. So there's really not a whole lot more than that. We ended up with, decent currency, whatever. It's a voided league, but all the currency. Okay, wow. All right, YouTube subscriber in the middle of it. That was cool. Thank you. I did not realize I had events turned on. So. Yeah, we ended up with a really nice amount of fossils, and I used a bunch to craft these. I've probably used somewhere in the 30 to 50 fossil range. It still was left with this many, so that was really nice to have. Had some essences, but the main thing was just I got a bunch of sorts. The main thing was just it worked fine without the trigger in the wand. That's another thing I wanted to highlight. People were really scared of doing it without the trigger at all, and it's a nice thing to have. It's not crucial to the build. It doesn't define the Vortex build having the trigger wand. So feel free to experiment with it, play without it. Feel free to try out Void Sphere, it was really good. It was really good. It has a very long cooldown, but it was really, really helpful for clearing out areas, so especially in the tight quarters of Delve. So if you're going to run a lot of Delve, it's worth putting it on. If you run a lot of indoor tight maps, things like Toxic Sewers and stuff, it could be useful there too, although it's, again, you're probably going to find better things to do with your gem links. So that's pretty much it. I got to 91.5. I've been 91 forever because I was pushing before I even had the 5 link when the gear was bad and the damage was bad. I've probably died 10-15 times in this level range just because I was trying to get lower and lower before I just accepted that I wasn't going to have time to push anywhere near like the 400 plus range. So that being said, I wanted to also just say, now that this is somewhat playable, I mentioned in the intro video I did for Endless Delve that part of the big problem, let me switch back to the big face here. So part of the big problem that I had was I wasn't able to play PoE for like a month leading up to the Delve event until there were like 3 days to go in the Mayhem race. I couldn't play PoE for a month. That's why the Lighty Challenge video stopped coming out. It crashed on load up for me every single time. So it's been playable. I have experienced probably 10-15 crashes in Delve. Like, it would just all of a sudden the game would freeze in the middle of a Delve. I don't know if it's related, but this has shown me that it's playable again. So that being said, what I'm really, really looking forward to is the Heist Flashback. It's not a voided league at all. Whatever you get in the Heist Flashback is yours, which means we can make progress starting in the Heist Flashback toward the Lighty Challenge. I'm going to take a day or two here as we get toward the Lighty Challenge to make sure I have a build set up. It's an entirely new league, so we're starting from scratch. I don't know if I'm going to play Vortex or if I'm going to play something a little bit more funner and crazier out there, but look out for new Lighty Challenge videos because we're going to be able to, I think we're going to be able to target farm some specific league mechanics. I'm really hoping I can crank out a lot of league-specific uniques over the next 3 weeks in the Heist Flashback. So keep an eye out. Now that I can play the game again, we're going to be making more content. We're going to be doing more stuff for the Lighty Challenge and building up our unique pool. I genuinely don't even remember how many uniques I'm at. I can look it up at some point, but oh, do I have it actually listed here? Hold on. There it is. We're at 182. I don't think that's a spoiler. I don't remember because it's been like a month. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Heist Flashback, and we're gonna get some uniques popping and start cranking those up. So look out for that. And in the meantime, I hope you guys had a really fun Endless Delve event. I had a blast for what I was able to play. I wish I was able to play a little bit more, but I'm looking forward to the Heist Flashback a lot. So thank you all for watching. I really appreciate all the likes, all the comments, all the subs. It's been crazy. You just saw one pop up during that thing. It's been a lot of fun. So I appreciate it, and I will see you guys for the Heist Flashback event. Bye.